Shalom, family. Shalom. I'm coming to you guys today with a video, a download that I received this morning. We're going to talk about it because I felt like it was so dope and such a different perspective of this scripture that we're going to talk about. Now, y'all, I know I've been gone. We're going to talk about why I've been gone. I'm going to do a whole video on that. It's going to be titled My Near Death Experience Part 2. And we're just going to expound more on some of the stuff I said in that video and a few new things that, yeah, it's going to be a good video. So just stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk about why I've been gone. But I just wanted to come drop this real quick. I just got off work and I had this download this morning when I first woke up. I'm feeling so good again. Definitely feeling back in tune with the spirit because I feel like I've been out of tune. So we're going to do another video on that, on being out of tune and balance and all of that, and how important that is and what that really means. Like, because we're going to break that down. So that's two videos already, plus this one that I'm going to try to get out to you guys this weekend, maybe more because I got so much stuff that I want to talk about, and I'm finally getting my motivation back to be on YouTube and stuff. So let's get into the video today, which we're going to be talking about this verse. Now, I want to start the video off by saying, and it's 333, okay? 333. I want to start the video off by saying, woman, um, or just anybody in general, always go to God, go to the Spirit about your destiny, what you feel that you are supposed to be doing in life, like your role. Don't ever let another person tell you your role, okay? I mean, unless there's are definitely circumstances where people should be able to tell you things, but if you guys know what I'm saying, just like your overall, like, so for example, with this, we're going to be talking about, of course, men and women today, and this is First Corinthians 11:9, which is 911. And I didn't even realize that this morning. But the reason why I say that, because a lot of women let men teach them the scripture, even though the scripture says that the spirit in you, you have no need that no man should teach you, right? A lot of us women let men tell us what the scripture means because a lot of us have been told, again, you're being told, people are keep telling you things, and this is why I'm saying be careful about who you allow to just tell you things. Make sure they have your best interest at heart, or if they're just trying to manipulate you to get something out of it, that's going to benefit them and harm you. So the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of women, we let men tell us what scriptures mean, so much to the point where we dislike certain scriptures and things like that because we don't fully understand them because they're being interpreted in the wrong way. So, for example, this scripture, First Corinthians 11:9, neither was man created for woman, but woman for man. Now, man interpret this scripture as um, you know, the woman was created for the man. The woman got to do what the man say. Um, the man don't got to do what the woman say because the man wasn't created for the woman, right? This is how man will interpret the scripture to you. But the way the Spirit interpreted this scripture to me this morning was nothing like that. And it gave me a whole different perspective on this scripture. And I wanted to share it with y'all because I just want to show y'all how stuff get misconstrued and why you should always go to the Spirit, go to God, and make sure it's somebody you trust, somebody in your best interest, somebody that got your best interest. Like, I'm not getting nothing out of this. I'm not getting paid to do this video. I'm not nothing. I like to just teach and give people a different perspective on life. So neither was man created for woman, but woman for man. Let's talk about that. Well, God was explaining this to me this morning. It was funny because I was looking up the counselor, the woman, and I don't know why, I can't even remember why I was looking that up, but the woman is the counsel of the man. The woman is. Okay, y'all, a call came in. Sorry about that. So when you read about wisdom in the scripture, and I talked about this in one of my last video, a lot of us have a hard time understanding that wisdom is simply the woman. Okay, it's the sister, the mother, the wife, the bride, everything that women are. So it's just giving you a perspective of the characteristics of the woman, wisdom being one of them. So, wisdom says, I am the counselor. So we know that the woman is the counselor. And when you go to look up that word counselor, it says purpose. Okay. And this is what led me to this. It says purpose. So the woman is the counselor. She is the purpose, is another word that it gives us, right? And I said, let me sit in this. Let me think about this because this is something profound, right? And it just all started to make sense to me. So I want to get back to those scriptures I had up because I want to. So I like this version. I like the version that I like the New American Standard version, the NXAB 1995 version, and 1977 version. And we're gonna read it. So, and I'm going to tell y'all why I like those translations better because they express more of what this scripture means. And neither was man created for woman, but woman for man. For truly, man was not created on account of the woman, but woman on account of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Now let's just skip on down to the New American Standard Bible, which is the translation that I like. For indeed, man was not created for woman's sake, but woman for the man's sake. That kind of gives us a different picture. But woman for the man's sake, like for him to live, like for the sake of, like, that's dire. Like that means you need this thing. You see what I'm saying? That means you need this thing. It's dire that you have this thing. And we're going to talk about that. It gives it like a deeper feel for the sake of the man. Now I'm going to go to the scripture that I posted earlier. I said, a man who finds his wife finds his purpose. Okay, now another way that we can look at this scripture is neither was the man created for woman, but woman for the purpose of the man. Okay, that's how we can think of the scripture. That's why I said for the sake of man is more of a better translation than just for the man, because that make it like you just, the reason why a lot of women don't like the scripture and the way that man perceive it, which is the woman was created for the man, so she got to do what the man say do. But it's actually something entirely different being said here. So neither was man created for woman, but woman for the purpose of the man. So the woman was created for the purpose, to be the purpose. Going back to that word counselor, which means purpose, which is a feminine noun in the Hebrew. So let's go back to that post. I said, a man who finds his wife finds his purpose. Okay. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the purpose of the man. Okay. So when we look up purpose, the definition of purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So why was the woman created? She was created to be the purpose of the man, the reason for which something is done or created. And to say the woman was created for the man. She was created to be the purpose of the man. So I'm and this is funny because I was thinking about something that my husband had said to me, and it blew me because I never thought, like, my husband, and I don't know if we were talking about like intimate things or whatever, but I remember what he said, and what he said was, I'm always thinking about you. I always think about you. Basically, I always want you. You know what I mean? And I was like, what? The woman was created for the purpose of the man. So you don't know how much a man thinks about a woman. Like, because women, we have so much to think about. We are made to be multitask, multitask. developing beings because we raise children and we have multiple children and husband. So we raise to be focused on a lot of different things. But see, the man, he is just focused on you, the woman. Okay, this is, and I'm not saying that like he's not focused on other things, but overall, like you are all he thinking about. You see what I'm saying? My husband said that to me. He said, I'm always thinking about you. I always want you." And I was just like, "Huh?" So this made me think about what he had said to me in the heat of that moment or whatever. And so you are his purpose, the reason that he is living, okay? The reason that he is living. Okay, so Adam pretty much had nothing to live for before Eve was created. And my next status after that was Eve was Adam's reason to live, which is why her name means life. So she brought life to Adam, right? And we know the life is the spirit, the woman is the spirit. The woman brings life to the man, okay? Break it on down now. So the reason for which something is done or created, so the woman was created to be the purpose for the man. Now I said, see similar words for purpose to understand the role of the woman more clearly. Now we got to get into some of these words, right? Because it was blowing me. So similar words. The woman is the purpose. The woman is the motive of the man. She's the one who gives him his motivations, the grounds, the cause. She's the occasion. She's the reason, the point, the basis. She's the justification, the intention. She's the aim. She's the objective. She is the goal. She is the object. She is the end thought. Okay. She is the plan. She is the scheme. She is the target. And see, and it's funny that I use the word scheme there because you can kind of think of the woman as being like a trick because God uses the woman to lead the man, which we talked about, right? As his counselor and all of those other things. A woman shall compass a man, right? So it's almost like, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, women shouldn't like, you know, manipulate men, but that's kind of like what God made us to do, you know, manipulate the man. Okay. So, and so it says she, and I mean, you don't use your powers for evil, ladies. You don't go manipulating them to do bad stuff, but just in general, like if you know, and this kind of go to what Ezra was saying, like if your wife is mad at you, you pretty much gonna do anything to win her back over. And you know, women kind of know that, so they get mad, they fake mad when they ain't even mad to get gifts and stuff. Okay. They think like they got attitude because they know if their husband is the type to like get them gifts when they mad or shopping or something, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got like that manipulation, you know, thing going. So, you know, but don't use it for evil, okay? Don't use good for evil. So where was we? Go in, plan, scheme. And okay, scheme. So that makes me think of the scripture where it say God uses the weak, talking about the women as being the weaker vessel against the mighty, which is the mighty man. Or it says the scripture where it says, dang, what do it say? Pretty much that God turned everything around, like the devil's plan. Like, dang, what is the scripture? I can't think of it right off the top of my head. I know it, but it's just blocked because I got other stuff in there that I'm trying to get out right now. So let's just move on. But it say, what is that scripture? Y'all know it's hard for me to let it go. um, okay, so forget it. Let's move on. The scripture is in my head. It's right there, but I just can't get it out. Target, ambition. She is his aspiration, his desire, his wish, his hope, his advantage, his benefit. And it's a good, okay? He who finds a wife finds a good thing, okay? A good thing. He who finds a wife finds his purpose, okay? Good. Usefulness, value, merit, worth, gain, profit, avail, result, outcome, effect. mileage, percent, behoove, boot, function, impetus. Now I had to look this word up because I was thinking like impious for some reason. I was like, why would they put that? But when I looked this word up, it actually means the force or energy which a body moves. So you are the force that gets this man up and moving. You are what he lives for. Do you see this? What I'm saying? Which is why Eve's name, partially why her name meant life. She was the spirit that gave life to Adam, which I always say. She was the spirit blown into him that gave him life and then taken from him and made into a woman. And we did a whole video on that word rib really meaning spirit. So, and I think that was the last video we did about Eve being Kali, the spirit, the Shakti. I think that was the last video we did. So it says the force or energy which a body moves. So the woman is the force, the energy, the spirit, and the man is the body, the flesh. As I have been saying forever. So when we look at similar words, we see momentum, propulsion, impulsion, impelling force, a motive force, a driving force. So the woman is the driving force of the man. She is the reason he gets out of bed and can do all of the things that he can do. Okay, this is why a woman has to be a good woman, because if you're not a good woman, then your husband gonna be all out of whack, your kids gonna be all out of whack. And it's a post I shared. I'm gonna go down my timeline, try to find it, but it basically said the woman is in control of the house, and whatever, like, the house can't run well if the woman is not virtuous or if the woman is not happy. That's what it said. It said because everything is tied to the woman. Everything that comes out of the house is tied to the woman, and everything is going to basically reflect that woman. So if it's not a good woman, nothing about that house is going to be good, right? And I don't really feel like scrolling way down my timeline to find it. But I just recently reshared that. It's definitely deep. I'm not saying, I'm not giving it justice while I'm requoting it. I'm just trying to summarize it. But so she is the motive force, driving force, drive, thrust, continuing motion, the energy, the force, the power, push, sting, strength. And one of the words for spirit was strength. And we talked about that. The woman being was the strength of the man, right? In the last video. So this is definitely a piggyback off the last video. Definitely a download that I had this morning that I feel was real deep. So it say the force that makes something happen or happen more quickly. And I always talk about this as well, like why the scriptures say that the man and the wife need to pray together, because the wife is the person who makes the magic happen. She is the one who makes the manifestation happen. So if you not praying with her and y'all prayers is not matching up and y'all ain't praying for the same thing, it's going to take longer to manifest. Like when you go and you pray with your wife, or when your wife pray for you, which is why the scriptures say for a woman to cover her head, her husband, not her head with a scarf. She's supposed to cover her husband in prayer, cover her head, cover her husband in prayer. Why? Because the woman's prayers is answered. Why? Because the woman is the mediator, especially if it's a good one. The woman is the, oh, well, really, if it's a good woman, because she is the mediatrix. She is the spirit between the physical. She is the mediator between the physical and the spiritual. So the force that makes something happen or happen more quickly, she is the magic, she is the manifestation. And a lot of men don't realize this. So their prayers are hindered. Okay, what does the scripture say? Pray together that your prayers be not hindered. Okay, and they don't realize this, especially if you're not a good husband and you treat your wife bad, your prayers is definitely hindered, my boy. Okay, or your girlfriend or whoever. But I just wanted to kind of bring this to y'all today. It's 351-153. Okay, so I think I explained it. Okay, the woman is the purpose of the man. She is the reason why he lives, right? So this is kind of going to the scripture that say, a man with a virtuous wife lives double his years. We know wisdom has length of days in her hand, right? That she offers. And we talked about all of the scenarios and how this happened, but this is another way of how she prolongs his life by also keeping him righteous, because life is righteousness. What did the book of Solomon, I mean the wisdom of Solomon says, and I said in the second chapter that righteousness is immortality. So when we're talking about life, we're talking about righteousness. And we're going to discuss a lot of this in the next video, in the next videos where I talk about balance and stuff, because it got a lot to do with what was going on with me. I was out of balance. Um, but more, it's going to be deeper than that. That's just to sum it up on a very not deep level, but um, yeah. So the woman is the reason that she's supposed to keep him righteous. And the way that a woman does this is again through manipulation. Like, if you're not doing the right things, she's not supposed to be rocking with you, bruh. Looks like no. If you're not a righteous man, you're not supposed to be, what Cardi said in her song. If uh if he ain't got no money, then he can't get the cat or whatever, something like that in the WAP song. I don't know. Was it WAP? Something like that. But it's like that. If you ain't righteous, you can't get the cat. Like that's how women are supposed to be. But men have brainwashed you into thinking that that's manipulation. You can't manipulate us like that. Woman, I'm here to tell you, yes, you can, and you supposed to. Okay, I'm done messing around, y'all. I love you, family. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Shalom. Until we meet again.